Hey, I'm Andrew. Welcome to my woodpile. Today we're going to be turning a bowl out of elm. So when you're turning a bowl and you've cut a log, the easiest thing to do if you don't have a bandsaw is to make it as round as possible, or at least get the edges off with a chainsaw. So that's what I'm going to do. So I have my 4-jaw chuck here, and for me, one of my favorite ways to mount a blank to that is with the woodworm screw. And this particular one, the bit size is 5/16. So you find the center, and then you drill a hole a little bit longer than the screw length, and then it screws on to the jaws. And then you bring your tailstock up, and this is a live center. It's got ball bearing in it, so it spins and it holds the wood in place, keeps it nice and tight, so it's all safe. You don't have to worry about it falling off or wobbling, that sort of thing. So let's do that, and let's get this thing mounted. We've got our hole drilled, and we've got our screw in here. Gonna mount the bowl. I'm just gonna see how well balanced this thing is. So I've got my lathe on low, which for my lathe is 500 RPMs. So I know there's a lot of lathes out there that will start at 0. They've got the digital kind of speed dial thing, but mine starts at 500. So we're going to start here. For an unbalanced blank, that's actually pretty good. So I'm going to start with that. I'm happy with that. So you want to make sure that your tool rest is close to the piece that you're turning, but you don't want to bump it. So I've got everything together. It spins nice and freely, and it doesn't hit my tool rest. Sharpen my tool. So we just sharpened the tool, get us some nice clean cuts. We don't have to worry about any mishaps. A dull tool is a dangerous tool, as they say. So always keep it sharp. So we got our bowl mostly round. I got some edging left to do, but you can kind of see starting to show some of the grain. So now that we've got our bowl pretty rounded for the most part, just gonna clean up the outside, make it nice and smooth, and then make a tenon or a recess. I haven't decided which for our chuck jaws. So we've got the bowl rounded, and we put a recess on it. Throwing it on the chuck. So now we just have to hollow out and shape the inside of our bowl, and then put on our finishing touches. So we're getting getting down to the bottom of our bowl, but we want to check our depth to make sure that we don't go through the bowl, because I have done that before and it really sucks. Some people have fancy tools, some people have homemade gadgets, things that they do to measure out where their bowls are at, but my way is very simple. I take my tool rest and put it flush up against the bowl, and I go to center with my gouge and mark that with my finger, and then I see where I'm at. So I'm getting pretty close. So I probably don't want to go any deeper than that, so I can finish shaping the inside of the bowl, and then I can sand it down and we'll put a finish on her and we'll call her a day. So we've got our bowl rounded. It's as deep as I'm comfortable going with it, just because I don't like going through the bottom of my bowls. I've learned. So I'm going to start sanding, starting with this one. Starting with 80 grit, then we're going to 120, and then 220. And then I'm going to use some sanding sealer just to bring up the grain and any of the wood that's just kind of embedded in there. And then I'm going to take wire wool and clean that up, just kind of denib it. So that's what we're going to do. Now that we've done our sanding sealer and went ahead with the wire wool to denib it, it's a lot smoother now. So I like to use mostly natural finishes on my bowls. Luckily for me, my in-laws are beekeepers, so I get just about as much beeswax as I can handle. So what I did with some of it is I made a polish. So beeswax has long been used as a furniture polish, I don't know, hundreds of years ago. But so I made a polish with beeswax and olive oil. It's real simple. You can just Google the recipe, you can make some for yourself. Super cheap, and it lasts a long time, and it looks great. So I'm going to turn the lathe back on slow, and you can watch as the bowl kind of takes form like this. Final product, it really brings out the grain. Not my best bowl, there's quite a bit of tear out, but this one didn't dry as well as I'd like. But we're not finished. So I have this, but I also like to put kind of a protectant on it, just kind of toughen it up a little bit. And for that, pure beeswax. So while the lathe is spinning on low, you put the beeswax up to it, and you can actually see it take the beeswax onto the wood. But then you will have to kind of work it in, just like you're buffing. You know, some of you guys make pens and stuff, you use that buffer system that goes on your lathe. It's kind of that same idea, you're kind of just buffing it in, working it into the wood again. So you can see how the grain has taken the pure beeswax. It's just soaked it up. It's given it a real nice sheen, and it's actually food safe. So if you're making something you want it to be a salad bowl, I wouldn't put anything hot in it, just because wax melts. But you know, you could do a salad bowl. If you wanted to throw some pasta salad or something like that in there, go for it. Here it is. We got a Elm Bowl with a little bit of some spalting, not a whole lot. So you can see some of the spalting right there. This is that bark inclusion that I left. So it's real cool. Didn't really finish the bottom the way I wanted to, just because I didn't. It didn't work the way I wanted to, but it never does. So, but the rest of the bowl looks great. You know, it's kind of a chunkier, beefier bowl, which is fine. You know, this would look great on your table. Put some fruit in it, that sort of thing. If you have liked what you've seen in this video, if it's been helpful for you, please give me a thumbs up, like this video. If you want to see more stuff, please subscribe to my channel. Leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. If you have questions, let me know. I'm more than happy to help. Thanks for watching.